Nothing in life is more important than the ability to communicate effectively. Gerald R. Ford. Many of you may not know this, but I used to live in Canada for 8 years. I studied at Dalhousie University, and once I graduated, I took the first opportunity to gain some experience abroad. I majored in finance, so naturally, I sought out employment in the financial services industry. I was so excited to begin my first job, my first taste of the real world. But little did I know, my communication skills would be tested in a way that I never could have imagined. Mr. Chair, Toastmasters and honored guests, good evening.
Good evening.
There are so many different styles of communication, and they each have a different effect on the way a message is perceived. The way you communicate can impact the people around you and can impact the way situations unfold. I worked as a financial advisor at a well-known bank in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Every financial advisor has a requirement to log a minimum of 8 hours on the counter, aka a teller. This was the best way to meet new clients and market our products. I absolutely hated working on the counter because I hated the fake smiling that I'd have to do every single day. How are you? How can I help you today? It's good to see you again. It was winter in 2021, a year in the pandemic. One afternoon, right before the bank closed, I decided to log an hour on the counter. Working on the counter can be very hectic and overwhelming at times, but this particular day was a madhouse. I immediately noticed the impatience of a man waiting, clothed in a green jacket, blue jeans, white tennis shoes, shades, gloves, a fur hat, and of course, a mask. He was tapping his foot, likely in frustration because there were only 3 of us working the counter that day. And as I said, it was a madhouse. I thought to myself, I hope to God I don't get this grump. Well, just my luck. Hi there, I can help you over here. I shouted in the most fake pleasant voice because I knew this would be a tough one. He already seemed agitated from the very long wait. He approached me calmly and passed me a note. I picked up the note and it said, "Give me the money. I have a gun." I immediately looked up after reading with a grin on my face because of course, he could not be serious. I quickly realized that this man was not playing any games with me. He gripped the front of his pants like a scene from the Bad Boys movie to indicate that he was holding something serious in there. I was in complete shock. I froze. Then I thought to myself, what could I say to diffuse this situation? I started to speak to him calmly, using my personal style of communication, direct. Now, according to Toastmasters International, direct communicators prefer when you get to the point quickly and in a succinct manner. Focus on solutions and only provide details when asked. I quickly learned that this was not the best communication style to diffuse this particular situation. He had on shades, but I looked him directly in his eyes. I said, "Sir, do you have a debit card that I could use to pull up your account? Because I cannot access any money without your card." He immediately got agitated, and he said, "I know you have money in that drawer. Give me it."
Oh, man.
All while gripping his pants like a bad boy. I was shaking in my fur boots. I looked at my left and I looked to my right just to see if anyone caught wind of what was going on. Nobody noticed. I was literally being robbed and nobody noticed. I finally walked over to the cash machine to pretend as if I was trying to open it. I was so scared that I couldn't think. When I I walked back to the desk to speak to him again, the dumbest words left my mouth. I said, "Sir, I apologize, but I would need to ask my manager to open the cash machine." This man bolted. I've never seen someone run so fast. As he was running, he knocked down 2 people waiting in line. I started to mouth the words to our security. This man just tried to rob me. Then I realized my mask was on my face, so I shouted, "This man just tried to rob me." Customers waiting in line started spewing out details that they remembered about him. Green jacket, blue jeans, white shoes, shades. The police were called immediately, and they came in less than 10 minutes. They took my statement and questioned me profusely, almost as if I was involved in the attempted robbery. As soon as the shock wore off, I burst into tears. The worst part about it for me was that I still do not know what this man looks like to this day. I wonder, what if I had used a different communication style in that situation? Would things have turned out differently? Perhaps a supportive communication style would have indicated that it would be more appropriate and I would be able to understand his situation, possibly what he might be going through during the pandemic. It's so important to learn your communication style and recognize the styles of others. It could save your life one day. I want to challenge each and every one of you to do your own research. Take some time to really discover your communication style. It will help you become a better communicator one day, I guarantee it. Now, I know that I would be a terrible hostage negotiator, Mr. Chair.